welcome back to another episode of How Founders Think. Today I'm here at the Beanly Punchhill store with the founders of Beanly, which is one of the fastest growing coffee brands in India. I'm here with Samayesh Khanna and Rahul Jain. So, guys, thank you so much for coming on to my podcast.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
My first question to you is, how did you start Beanly and what led you to starting Beanly? What was the thought behind Beanly?
The thought behind starting Beanly was we were very early to this market, to the consumer market in coffee, and this was back in 2019. We saw this large gap on making coffee accessible at home to Gen Zs and millennials, which was the largest growing market at that point.
Yeah.
And that led to the start of Beanly.
Yeah, I think it was just a gap in the market that existed at the time. We found a product that solved a problem for us, and we thought there'd be many like us who it would solve a problem for as well. That's the origin story, but obviously it's evolved into something much more than that.
Initially, Beanly started as an FMCG manufacturer. So, how did you guys shift from that to being both like a F&B brand and also an FMCG brand at the same time?
Of course, Beanly started and evolved into what it is today. We didn't just start as an FMCG brand. We started as an OEM for some of India's fastest growing and large coffee brands today.
Right.
Some global brands also which came into India. We were OEMs for them. Beanly started building 5+ intellectual properties in coffee, from nitro coffee cans to the world's first cold brew bag to we patent zero oxygen. We did nitro flush, drip bags and hot brew bags, which became category sellers. And I think the idea was always initially to build that conviction in the category for ourselves. Went on to an online first approach, and today we're omni-channel present. It's a really sticky product, sticky category, so it only made sense for us to be present across all touch points, whether it was FMCG or offline stores. And I'm glad customers have given us the love that they've given us across channels right now.
Yeah, I think what Samish has said more or less answers it very well. What I will just add on to that is that for us, getting into the retail part of it, it was the gradual next step for Beanly. We realized that this was the only way we could create lasting brand recall, and I think that it ties our whole coffee story in very well.
When did you guys feel like you wanted to start opening cafes and offline stores? When did you feel like that was the next thing for Beanly?
For the longest time, I think we resisted getting into the offline format, and but in 2023, it became inevitable that this is where we would start growing the brand. And it came from the customers. It came from realizing consumer demand. Despite being FMCG first, most of our sale came in from these offline touchpoints. And when we realized that that's where the customers saw us and wanted to see us, 100% it was the next step. We dabbled with the idea, did our first few stores at Visa ticketing counters in Delhi, and the results were amazing. And from there on, of course, it was inevitable that this is where we would double down on now.
I think he's answered it pretty well. It was something that really came from the customers. People who enjoyed our products at home, often would ask, where can I find your beans? Do you guys have a store? And we also felt there was a gap in the market where, no one was, at least in our eyes, no one was doing coffee the way we wanted to, or what we had hoped would be an introduction of a young customer into coffee. And I think that's what we wanted to build for. India has been a tea drinking nation, and I think to kind of drive that momentum, it's very important to get that young customer and turn them into a coffee drinker. And I think that's what we are trying to do, and no one was doing at the time. So I think that's where we felt there was a space for us, and that's what we did.
How does a typical day in your lives as founders of one of the fastest growing coffee brands in India look like?
Every day is different, to be honest. The thing is, when you're when you're pursuing just one channel, a lot of your days tend to be similar. But because of the different channels that we are pursuing, every day is different for us. We're trying to get the right people in the right place, so that we can concentrate on the bigger picture. But I think our days are very different. There are days where we're looking at store ops. There are days when we're looking at quick commerce operations, or just different channels, finding new stores. So every day is different. The variety of things we get to do is what makes this so much fun for us, I would say, because no day is the same. So yeah, we enjoy that.
Yeah, I think Rahul's absolutely right. We have a variety of channels and a variety of different things that we keep doing. So keeps every day interesting. But if I were to summarize it, we're dousing a different fire every day. So there are different things happening every day. I think I can highlight to a very large extent what I find the most interesting part of our day is meeting new people. That's the best part of what we do, and I enjoy doing that the most. And I think second is I haven't in a long time spent much time at the factory, but when I think about the last 4-5 years, that was the best time that we spent at Beanly when we were in the factory building new stuff and then mass producing that stuff by hand by ourselves. So that's one of those things that we miss, but definitely the best parts of our day.
And how big is your team? And because your advertising and your colors are so on point, and your guys' aesthetic sense is really good. So how big is your team, and how does everything look behind the scenes?
So in all, the whole Beanly team, if I talk about the cafe staff, factory staff, corporate, a 45 to 50 people strong team. More than 80% of that is factory and cafe staff, and I think we try to run a lean ship. We don't have a lot of people. We've got a lot of our team does more than one people's work. So I think that's pretty much.
Yeah, I think 45-50 people overall, everybody doubling down on whatever their primary task is. So we've definitely focused on brand because I think amongst everything else, it's our largest moat. Brand becomes our largest moat. So the colors and everything being on point is just that. Being a startup, we run a fairly lean operation. We guys multitask, and so does the team. So these 45-50 people put together what we're doing at Beanly very, very well.
As a startup, how do you guys keep your team lean, or is your team big? And do you think every startup should keep a lean team or no?
I think it varies startup to startup, but I definitely think it's very, very important to run a tight ship, because if you become, what we've seen is there have been times where we've hired aggressively. You often end up hiring the wrong people. That not the wrong people, I just say there's no fit, and it's just because you feel like you need more people. But in today's day and age, where there's things like AI and all, I mean, don't hate me for that saying that, but I think it's important for anyone running a startup to optimize, because you have people to answer to. There's other people's money that's on the line, so you have to make every last penny count. And just I think driving efficiency is a big part of what I think the new age of startups is going to be. For a long time, people have been spending all kinds of money on all kinds of things. There's no right or wrong, but I just feel, in our opinion, we've always run a tight ship, and I think it's our continuous endeavor to continue to do that.
The branding and packaging really stand out. So how did you arrive at like this visual identity and this color palette, and what was your direction for the design of Beanly?
I think Beanly was born to be built for this very specific consumer set and audience, which was which was between 18 and 35-year-olds. So that defines why we're so playful and young in our brand appeal and approach. When you talk about the color theme, I think there is a very central color to how Beanly is built, and that color came also out of thought. There were two large coffee brands, one for in-home consumption, one for out-of-home consumption. One was red in color and the other was green. So we needed another primary color that fell in between green and red. That's why the blue came in. Somehow it stuck. And then we have a lot of secondary colors That said, it's blue is just one of the primary colors that we use. Uh, we're very playful. We're very experimental with the colors that we have at Bindi.
How do you decide which new flavors or products to launch? How's the process behind the scenes? And you have so many unique things like cheese foam and so much other stuff. So how does that look behind the scenes?
I think with the recipes that we do, obviously a lot of it isn't necessarily something that's 100% original. Obviously, we put our twist on things, but a lot of it is inspiration that we've taken from what's happening internationally. The Asian market is a great place for inspiration when it comes to anything. New with coffee, so we do a lot of soft tops, we have a whole range of soft tops which has cheese, and it's a mix of cheese and whipped cream, and we do a tiramisu swirl latte, again mascarpone cheese. So you know it's something that we've obviously derived from the Vietnamese coffee market. They do a lot of interesting stuff. So I think, yeah, it's just inspiration from international markets, putting our own twist on things. We do a lot of hit and try. We try a whole lot of recipes. A lot of them come out great. A lot of them come out really bad. But yeah, we just find the best and then we put that on our menu.
What does a typical day of sales look like, and how much percent is online and how much is offline?
I won't answer it in numbers, but what I will tell you is that we do anywhere from 110 to 130 tickets a day per store, and that's it. Those tickets have a split of about 75 25, 25 being on percent being online and 75 being from the store.
This sums up the answer very perfectly. A typical day for a Beanley store encompasses 75% of our sales coming in from walk-ins. When you're looking at high street neighborhood markets, our timing of walk-ins may differ from how office markets behave. Weekends are a big jump in high street markets. If you're looking at insights on terms of sales, 25 odd percent of our sales comes in from online platforms. And yeah, I think that summarizes it. There are ways for us to drive up store volumes and per ticket volumes. We add food to the mix. We have retail SKUs to the mix, which add our per bill ticketing sale. But that's how a typical day looks like at the stores amongst all that chaos.
What is the next big step for Beanley?
I think for now, our concentration is mostly doubling down on the physical storefront. We're looking at more stores in the coming few months. We have some huge targets for ourselves, but obviously we're also learning on the job. So we're making sure that while we grow, our ops don't fall apart. So yeah, we're just currently all our emphasis is on the stores.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching this episode. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you, Samayesh. Thank you, Rahul, for joining me here. And make sure to check out all the Beanley stores. Make sure to check out their coffee. The coffee is amazing. So once again, thank you so much, guys.